Have you ever looked at someone else's body and thought, man, I just had her fitness program. If I just knew what she did for nutrition, then I could look like she does. Well, I did. In my early 30s, I was a personal trainer, I was a nutrition coach, but I really wasn't happy with where my body was at. So I decided to go all in. I hired an IFBB bikini pro champion from Australia who made it all the way to the Arnold's in America because I knew that if her body looked that way, she had the knowledge to get my body to look that way. But what I didn't know then nearly to me. And it's the same trap I see keeping so many women stuck and exhausted instead of energized and fit. You're tired, frustrated, and nothing seems to work anymore. Well, welcome to Data, Dumbbells, and Dinner, where we use your body's own data to explain why, and then give you the tools to finally feel energized, confident, and fit again. I was in my mid-30s, and by that time I'd been a personal trainer and a nutrition coach for probably about 3-4 years. And I was determined to get in the best shape of my life because I really didn't feel like I looked the part. So I decided to hire an IFBB pro bikini champion from Australia whose body was so amazing and she was so good at having the look that she made it to the Arnold Classics in America. That's a big, big deal. And I knew that if she could get her body to look like that, she could fill in the education I didn't have to get my body to look like that as a personal trainer and a coach. So it was a win-win. I would look amazing, I would feel amazing, and I would have more information to pass along to my clients. So got started with the program. About 3 months in, I had been counting every calorie, waking up early in the morning, grilling my chicken, making my broccoli, having my rice cakes with peanut butter on it. I'd been doing my hardcore workouts 5 days a week. I'd been doing cardio sprints once a week. And at this point, I was seeing some results, but as dedicated and disciplined as I'd been, I wasn't seeing the results I thought I should. It just wasn't adding, but it was okay. I was determined to stick to the program. So 3 months in, I am running late trying to pick up my daughter from school. So I'm at the gym. I had a late client, put me just a little bit late. So I ran out, locked the door, ran to my car, and realized, oh my gosh, I left my phone inside. So I get out of the car, I run back into the gym, all the way to the very back of the studio, grab my phone, run to the front, lock the doors, turn around, and I watch as my Ford Escape is rolling backwards, driving itself, and slams into the tank of the Ford Expedition across the street. Now, this was a busy street. There was a grocery store right next to my building. It could have been disastrous. There could have been children walking across the street. Instead of hitting the Ford Expedition, the car could have rolled into the building and hurt someone. And that was the day that changed everything and led me to where I am today. That's the day that I knew traditional fitness and nutrition just didn't work for some people. Did it work for some of my clients? Absolutely. But it didn't work for me, and it didn't work for a few of my other clients. So I was determined that I would figure out how to do this the right way, the way where I had more energy, where I had better brain function, where I was truly healthy and had that athletic look. So 3 months in, I quit my program, not because my trainer didn't want to help me. She did. Her heart was in it. She just didn't understand the science of stress. And that's something now that every program I teach, we focus on the science of stress. You see, when I came to her, I had issues like PCOS. I had Hashimoto's autoimmune disease. And that wasn't a big deal. It just meant my results would be slower. But actually, it was a big deal. And what I know now would have changed everything back then. I had to go through the process. And now I know this and I can teach it to you. So here's the first lesson that I learned. Whenever we're going to start a fitness and nutrition program, we must always look at blood work. You see, blood work holds the key to what is happening chronically in the body. What areas are unhealthy that need to get healthy? Now, I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose. I don't use it for any of those purposes. What I use blood work for is I'm simply looking for where are you unhealthy and how do we get you healthy. So we use something called a functional range that includes healthy people. So the goal of a fitness and nutrition program should first be to get you healthy. I didn't understand that. I thought that the hardcore fitness and counting every calorie and eating these healthy foods would get me healthy. That's not it at all. What actually gets me healthy is understanding what stressors are found in my blood work and then working to get those areas less stressful on my body while I'm doing fitness and nutrition. And that those stressors determine how much fitness and what type of nutrition I do with my body. So today, no matter who it is, we always start every fitness and nutrition program before it's ever even cultivated with the CBC with differential. Now, it's a super common, it's probably the most common blood work that your doctor does when you go in. They're looking for infections. But what the doctor is looking for are raging infections that are causing massive problems. What I look for is, do we have any low-grade chronic infections that are under the surface, going around wreaking havoc, causing stress on your body 24/7? Because if we do, we need to work on that immune system. If we don't work on that immune system and we're adding all these hardcore workouts, you're going to be exhausted, you're going to be fatigued, you're going to start getting sick more often. So we want to really look at that CBC with differential before we ever start a nutrition program, before we ever start a fitness program, to see what's happening underneath the surface. So in the CBC with differential, you can see, are there any low-grade chronic stuff, whether it's parasitic, viral, bacterial, fungal? It's all in there. You just have to know how to interpret your results, how to read them for education. That's something I teach. And we'll talk about that at the end because I have an upcoming masterclass, in a 3-day masterclass in October that I'm going to invite you to. So we start with that CBC. And had I known what my CBC showed, because at the time I had underlying chronic viral infections out the wazoo, raging in my body, I never would have started extreme exercise because it would just make those bad boys worse and my immune system would get lower. What I didn't realize, because I thought on that day, something's wrong with me. Something's wrong with my body. I'm not good enough. I'm stuck in this. And that's not true. I was already fighting battles in my body that I had no idea and no trainer's program would ever be able to help me with because I needed to get healthy first. So that's the first thing I would have done, is I would not have started the extreme workouts. Now, once I got healthy and while I was getting healthy, because you don't have to wait until you're 100% healthy to start working out, you just have to tweak your workouts a little bit. The next thing I would have done, looked at my CBC, then I would have strength trained, just like she had me strength training, but I wouldn't have done it 5 days a week. Why? Well, because that was too stressful on my body. My workout sessions were an hour to an hour and a half at the gym. Hardcore training. That was too much stress. With all the viral stuff I had going on, it was too much. How I would tweak my program today is I would keep my strength training sessions under 30 minutes. And actually, for a lot of my clients, their training sessions are anywhere from 5 minutes to 11 minutes. And they get great results. Why? Because it's just the right amount of stress that they have the ability to recover from. But regardless, if I have stuff showing up on my CBC with differential, I know my body's stressed, I'm going to keep my strength training workouts under 30 minutes. The third thing I would do, so I'd look at my CBC, I'd keep those strength training sessions under 30 minutes. The third thing I would do is I would go, okay, I know that my workout is going to stress my body. That means my cortisol is going to go up, my adrenaline's going to go up, epinephrine's going to go up. All those stress hormones are going to go up, which is okay. Then I need them to go down. And there's no magic button to say, okay, stress, stop now, time to go down. So what I have to do is kind of create a button that says, okay, stress, time to go down. How I create that button is that I do something that pushes me into what we call parasympathetic state. So parasympathetic state is that rest or digest state. It's the opposite of the stress state, the sympathetic state. So the best, most effective, wonderful thing I have found after a strength training workout to push you parasympathetic, so your body starts to recover, your stress levels come down, your brain function is good, is you walk. It's literally that simple. But it has to be a leisure walk. It can't be any kind of walk. It has to be a leisure walk. So we're talking about walking in heart rate zones 1 or zone 2. If you don't know what those are, This is a plug for my masterclass in October because on day 3, I teach you how to do heart rate training. Find your zones, what do you use them in, all that kind of stuff. Okay, let's go back. So I would immediately follow up my strength training session with a 30-minute leisure walk. What does that mean? That means you're the grandma on the treadmill, or you're the grandma outside walking. And you don't care that people are making fun of you because you know that in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to start seeing results while they're not seeing any because they're stressing their body out. So if you're on the treadmill, you are putting that bad boy no higher than an incline of 3. No higher. No higher than a speed of 2.5 to 3.0. Yes, I'm serious. And you're going to walk for 20, 30, 40 minutes, whatever you need to walk to allow those stressors to come down. You might put in some calm, soothing music, your favorite podcast, praise and worship music, whatever helps you de-stress. That's what you're going to do. Okay. So we're going to look at our CBC. We're going to keep our strength training sessions under 30 minutes. Then we're going to immediately follow those strength training sessions with that leisure walk where we can have a conversation with our friend. We're enjoying life. And type A's, trust me, it might seem crazy in the beginning and like you want to go harder. Don't do it. Stay slow. In about a week or 2, your body will actually crave that slowness because your hormones are starting to. Okay, and then last but not least, here's what I would change to see results if I were looking for that athletic fit look and I didn't want it to wreck my brain. I would add those same leisure walks in on non-training days. That's what I would do. And it's not to burn calories. It's not for cardiovascular benefits. Well, I mean, it does have cardiovascular benefits, but it's for hormonal balance. As women, we know that when hormones are balanced, everything is beautiful. And when hormones are not balanced, your body creates havoc trying to balance them, and you get all sorts of symptoms. So that's what I would do in a nutshell. Today, instead of starting that extreme program, if I had some sort of metabolic issue like I did then, perimenopause, PCOS, autoimmune disease, I know that my hormones are jacked, but they keep telling me everything's fine, or I'm working out and not seeing results and don't feel energized. I would not start an extreme hardcore fitness and nutrition program where I'm working out every day. I would simply learn how to read my CBC, find any underlying red flags that are in there, address those with lifestyle, supplementation, fitness, and nutrition to get healthy where I'm unhealthy. I would keep my strength training sessions under 30 minutes. I would follow every strength training session with a leisure walk. And then I would do a leisure walk even on my days off. Remember, exercise is stress on your body. And stress is good, but only when it can be balanced with non-stressful activities. And it's that balance that's going to help your body recover. You get the athletic look, you get more energy, and you get healthy instead of crashing. The trap back then for me was believing that copying someone else's plan would give me their exact body. But my body wasn't her body. Internally, we were very, very different. I had PCOS, I had Hashimoto's, I had kids, a business, and layers of hidden stress that she didn't, and it affected my immune system, my metabolism, and ultimately, it all showed up in my blood work. So what worked for her to push harder and deeper actually backfired and made me more fatigued. I had a bigger belly, I was fluffier, and here's the part I didn't know back then. I had known about blood work. If I had known about even just my CBC with differential, there's so many other blood work pieces, but just that one, I would have been able to see these low-grade infections, the stress, the red flags that were telling me my body wasn't ready for that kind of program. That's the key difference. I don't want you to copy someone else's plan. I want you to learn how to uncover what your body's telling you and then build the plan that works for your body to get results, to get energy from there. So if you've been trying to copy other women's diets off Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or workouts, and you're still exhausted, you're not seeing the results you think that you should, I want you to hear this clearly. Problem isn't you. It's the plan. That's why I'm going to invite you to my 3-day Fatigued to Fit Masterclass. If your energy is tanked and you don't know why, I'm going to walk you through aspects of blood work. I'm going to walk you through aspects of nutrition and fitness. that are going to be game changers that will help you become your best personal trainer ever. I'm going to show you how to use what's in your labs and your data to finally create a plan that works for your body. Until next time, stay strong, stay healthy. Thanks for listening to Data, Dumbbells, and Dinner. If you're tired of feeling like nothing works, remember, your body holds the answers. With the right data, workouts, and nutrition, you can finally feel energized, confident, and fit again.